This is your Go Math Lesson 2.11. You're going to use blocks and the strategy Make a Model to show the values of the digits in numbers when solving problems about comparing numbers. Children bought 217 boxes of chocolate milk and 188 boxes of plain milk. Did they buy more boxes of chocolate milk or plain milk? So whenever you complete a problem like this, there are a couple questions that you need to ask yourself. So we need to figure out, what do I need to find? And we need to find if the children bought more boxes of chocolate milk or plain milk. And what information do we need to use? Well, how many boxes of chocolate milk do I have? 217. And how many boxes of plain milk do we have? 188. Okay, so let's use that information. Model the numbers, draw quick pictures of your models. Well, we've done that. We have 2 hundreds, 110, and 7 ones, which gives us 217. Then we have 100, 8 tens, and 8 ones. It says to draw quick pictures of your models. That confused me because they've already done that. So, I guess you could do that again and say 217. And then 100, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 188. So even though we have more tens here in 188, is that the bigger number? No, the bigger number is 217. We don't want to let that confuse us. So they bought more boxes of chocolate milk. We don't want to let that confuse us because hundreds are more than tens. Okay, anytime you have 100, it's more than the tens. That's why we have to group 10 tens as 100. Okay, so moving on, you can pause if you're not ready. Moving on to page 136. And this is where it comes in handy to do your cubes. At the zoo, there are 137 birds and 142 reptiles. Are there more birds or more reptiles at the zoo? So we need to ask ourselves, what do I need to find? Well, we need to find if there are more birds or more reptiles at the zoo. What information do I need to use? I need to use the amount of birds and the amount of reptiles. So let's look and see who has more. We have 100, 4 tens, and 2 ones to equal 142 reptiles. Then we have 100, 3 tens, and 7 ones. So you always want to start off, when you're comparing numbers, you start off in the highest place value. So if you have a number in the thousands, you would start in the thousands. If you have a number in the hundreds, you start in the hundreds. Okay, they both have the same amount of hundreds. So then we have to move over to the tens. They have 4 tens in the reptiles because it's 142, and then 3 tens for the birds. So which one is more? Which one do we have more of? Reptiles. Okay, you can pause if you are not ready. Come down to number 2. It says Tom's book has 105 pages. Delia's book has 109 pages. Whose book has fewer pages? Okay, do not let that word confuse you. Normally, we're used to dealing with more up here. We were looking for who had the most. Now we're looking for who has the least or who has fewer pages. So Tom has 100, doesn't have any tens, and he has 5 ones. Delia has 100, no tens, and 9 ones. So we look at the hundreds first. Who has more hundreds? They both have the same. They both have 100. Who has more tens? They both have the same. They don't have any tens. Who has more ones? Tom or Delia? Delia, because Delia has 9 ones. So who has fewer? Tom. So Tom's book has fewer pages. And we put an apostrophe here to show that it's Tom's.